and welcome. I am the Strike Guy. This is going to be another Counter-Strike Global Offensive commentary. This time I am going to be doing a little bit of a post-game commentary on a matchmaking ranked match that I just finished playing and wanted to talk about. And the big topic that I want to focus on with this commentary is understanding momentum. Counter-Strike Go is very momentum-based, specifically with the way the economy works. And so we start off with this pistol round here, and we lose a player, we lose two players. So things are already not looking so good for my team. And, you know, like I said before, the pistol round is very crucial to getting your team and your game off to a really good start. You know, the pistol round is very important to you know, getting the momentum going in your favor, because, you know, one of the things about the pistol round is the team that wins is going to get a big economy boost, and they're going to likely be able to buy eco-friendly weapons. Some poor shooting there. Perhaps like an SMG or a shotgun, or maybe even, you know, an M4 or an AK. And so, you know, if you look at the guns that are going to be purchased this round, this is going to be very, very telling. You know, you can see the enemy team, they've got a P90, they're buying, let's see here, they haven't actually finished yet. There's a Bison, there's a FAMAS, 3 armors, you know, so a lot of different stuff being bought by the counter-terrorists. And on my team, you can see that nobody has actually bought anything except maybe a pistol. So, you know, already we are, you know, you can see I just get totally grenaded and my team is falling. So again, you know, the importance of momentum and understanding and using momentum in your favor. Right now, the momentum is very much going against us. You know, we're having a really rough time getting going here, and what I really want to do is actually go to a different player. I have to turn. There we go. So, anyways, we ended up losing that round, but you know, when you get off to a bad start, you just kind of need to understand that you're probably going to lose the next couple of rounds, and you need to be okay with that. And actually, my team makes a little bit of a mistake here. I decide to go helmet and pistol, and it looks like my team is buying. So, you know, we're not quite on the same page, and that's not good. And one of the best ways to get momentum going in your favor is to be unified in your buying. This is one of the things that you'll see if you watch professional matches is when one person buys, generally they all buy. There are certain strategies, there I get a nice headshot, but there are certain strategies that some Eastern European teams have used where they half buy, but I would say that the standard play calls for you know, your team to buy in unison. And the core idea here, the reason why they do that, is because, you know, if you think about it, if one player on if maybe 2 or 3 players on your team buy, and 2 or 3 players on your team don't buy, it just kind of leaves you in this sticky place where your team is at half strength. So you're not saving fully, you're not buying fully, you're just kind of at half strength. And, you know, you don't want that. You don't want to be at half strength. You want to be together. You want to make your push together as an entire team where, you know, you can be all 5 members at 5 strength. Give your team the very best chance at winning a round and making a comeback. But instead, when you split your buys, it creates disunity. It puts your economy at different levels. You can see some really fabulous shooting going on here in this duel. Oh man, so many missed shots. But yeah, so in the end, I think that if my team could have done this over again, I would have tried to be a little more vocal on the mic about when are we going to buy, when are we going to save. You know, the importance of being together is important. We do end up picking up a win here, which is pretty fortunate on our point. Angry Meatball with a nice save. So anyways, now here we are. We're coming into the 3rd round. We managed to win a round. And I'm going to go ahead and buy. Got an AK, got a helmet. You know, it looks like the rest of my team is also buying as well. We've got a P90, an AK, and 2 Galils. So now we're pretty much on equal footing with this counter-terrorist team for the first time. And like I said, this is really when you want to try and get your momentum going in your favor. So again, like I said, you know, very momentum-based game, especially with its economy. Very momentum-based. And one of the things that we don't do so well here is we didn't really have a particular plan. We can see we're kind of grouping around by A, but we don't seem to have a cohesive strategy or a cohesive, like, let's charge into apartments, okay, use flashbang, 3, 2, 1, go. We don't really have any of that going on. We're just kind of walking around a little bit aimlessly. And, you know, this is why it's important to have a shot caller. You can see as I'm checking here, managed to get one. And I see a second one. We play a little game. I can see he's charging me, so I just kind of slow play him around that corner. And now, though, it's down to me. 3 versus 1. Probably not looking so good. I see that guy there. I'm going to try to pick up the bomb, but I do end up getting pinched in here. Some poor shooting. Wasn't going to help that too much. So, again, momentum. Even though we got the momentum going in our favor, we ended up giving a round away because we didn't have a very clear shot call there. So again, you've got to really try to unify your team and get a strategy. And I've heard people say that even a bad strategy that everyone follows is better than no strategy at all. And again, look, we're in this weird spot where I'm buying armor in a P250 or a CZ75, but one of my teammates bought a P90, another one bought a Tech 9. You know, we just aren't unified in our buying. We don't really have a much of a cohesive plan. So, but anyways, we're going to try and get things going here any which way. Now, we kind of do make this push into A and get a couple of nice kills early, and this puts us in a pretty powerful position because it does leave a nice turn, a little bit of a lucky shot there. I think that guy had me dead to rights. But we're in a good spot here. You know, getting those early kills in the round is so important, and you know, it makes a big difference. You know, we get the bomb down. It's 3 versus 1. This guy's going to have a hard time working. So the big thing I'm calling out here is where I'm watching. The biggest thing is you want to make sure every angle is watched. I see him on the map. I call him out. I don't know if I'm going to get this kill with the P90, especially with low health. I'm at 6 health. I'm going to play very defensively. You know, and try to make a call out to my team where this guy could be. I think at this point I'm going to flash up there and actually see him on my screen, so I call that out as well. And my teammates pick up the kill. So good teamwork there. You can see before when we had poor teamwork, when we were uncoordinated, it really hurt us. But there we managed to really turn things around nicely. Okay, so here we go. Another round. You can see the enemy, the counter-terrorists, have fully bought. We've got 2 ops in an M4, and likely I think the other 2 will probably buy at least a little bit. There's a shotgun, so for the most part, pretty unified. I get a gun given to me, and my team is pretty much fully bought as well, but we end up giving up this early pick, and that's not good for us. I see a couple of guys here on, you know, hiding back here in Banana, but you know, that early pick is so important to not give up. And one of the things, too, is especially, you know, works on Dust 2 as well, when you're running through double doors as a counter-terrorist, you know, giving up those early picks is always generally something you can prevent with a smoke or a flash. So, you know, if you're playing in a game and they start to bring out the ops, the best way to deal with them is to use your grenades wisely, and that's something that we didn't really do very well in this game. Not managing to finish off that guy quickly enough and putting our team in a pretty bad spot. So you can see those early kills that we gave up have really kind of set us behind. We're in a 3 versus 2 situation, and everybody ends up just falling. So yeah, just some tactical mistakes that my team made is really preventing us from kind of unifying, getting a solid, cohesive push going. You know, our strat calls haven't been very good, and now we're in a little bit of a bind. Our economy is struggling a little bit. I think we're going to have members who don't buy this round. Yeah, it looks like we are. That's not so good. Versus their team, they've got 2 ops. I don't think they died from last time. So, anyways, I make the call to go to apartments. I feel like if they've got ops, then going middle and going banana isn't a very smart idea. I managed to get 1 kill here in apartments, getting a little bit blocked. As now that I'm lower on HP, I want to back off a little bit. You don't want to be the guy leading the charge with low HP. So it looks like we lose 1, but we gain 1. Trade 1 for 1 is okay. You know, and we're in a 3 versus 4 situation. It looks like the counter-terrorists have all rotated to A, which is pretty smart. Now, we do end up losing 1. I didn't actually see what happened there. But, you know, now we're in a 3 versus 3, so, you know, again, kind of losing a little bit of our advantage. Going to try and jump down into the pit and hang out with my friend here. Yeah, and really at this point, we're just trying to check all the spots where we think that they could be. Again, the op picked off one of my allies. I see them a long ways away. I believe one of them had an op, so I want to be very cautious about peeking. Just trying to send out some warning shots, give my teammate a chance, but he ends up getting picked off as well. So these ops are doing a lot of work, and you know, I feel like ops are a little bit misunderstood just from the fact that people don't really know how to deal with them. I notice a lot of my teammates don't really know how to deal with ops. And like I said before, the key is to use your grenades wisely. Now, if you think about an opper, when you have used an op and you've had a lot of success, it's generally when, you know, when you've got a nice long line of sight to watch, and you know you can do a lot of work. You know, the best way to cut that off is using grenades wisely. So, not managing to do that. Again, if you look at our team, our buying has become so messed up because of the disunity that we had on some of those earlier rounds. We've got somebody getting an actually the AUG or the whatever the scoped weapon is for the terrorists. I actually make a huge mistake there. I actually dropped my gun thinking it would be safe to go pick one up, and I didn't actually get anything. So in a pretty bad spot there, I finally pick up a weapon. Managed to get, I think I'm using the UMP-45. The UMP-45 is my favorite SMG because I feel like of the SMGs it's the most accurate, and it reminds me the most of the power weapons. So I make a flash over top. I make the call out that there's one there, but I think we're actually not able to pick him off there. Not so good. Now, we're in this weird place where we're kind of stuck. We're at a numbers disadvantage, and I end up just getting picked off because I peeked the wrong corner. Again, miscommunication, miscoordination. You know, it's one of those things where if you're just going to sit in banana like that, you're not doing any good. And my teammates I think get picked off. But if you sit in banana like that and the CTs know exactly where you are, probably the best idea is just to pull back and try something else. Unless you've got grenades, you're probably not going to be able to get through that. So, should have done that. Now, I saved last time with my SMG, so I am buying an op this round, trying to get things going. You can see, again, my team is still very disunified on their buys. We've got two shotguns and a MAC-10, and I've got, you know, we've got one AK and one op, so very disunified, which isn't good. You want to be unified, and you want to try to coordinate with your team when you buy and when you save. Now, trying to step up and make some plays with the op, I believe. Oh, I missed that pick right there and get picked off from behind. So that was very frustrating right there. You know, I saved, I put all this money towards an op, and again, oh, not so good. We didn't have anybody watching our back, and he managed to sneak in there and pick us off. And you know, again, that's just disunity. Not having my team not really having the awareness to cover the spots that they need to, and you know, that's really a situation where, you know, as a more, you know, you kind of need to sometimes take a leadership role in your team and do the things that need to be done. And in that situation, I should have been more aware that our team was very prone to being flanked. The CT team has been pretty aggressive. Once they get an initial read on where we're at, they have been pretty aggressive at pushing out. I actually committed a little bit of a mistake there. This is not a good place to sit. But once they figure out where we are, you can see the CTs are quickly collapsing. They have two CTs pushed all the way through banana, and we're just in a bad spot. I'm trying to push up here on this opper, but I end up getting picked off, and we get aced. So again, talking about momentum, the momentum has been very much against us. And if you look at the factors, there's been two big stories for the terrorist side, in my opinion, and that has been the disunity on our buys. Excuse me, a little water. Disunity on our buy rounds, you know, so we're not presenting a strong unified front when we actually do buy, and then also a lack of coordination and real true shot calling. Not really been able to get much of a cohesive plan together. Very poor flashbang there by myself, and again, we've got two going down, and these rounds are just not getting off to a good start. We've yet to really get much momentum going. Trying to get a pick, but just going down. And again, like I said, the momentum is totally against us. We managed to get one kill there from our friend Gump. Let's try to check him out. He's watching this flank, but you know, you can hear them coming from this side, going into this underneath tunnels area, trying to pick up some cheeky kills. There's one, it looks like. And a second, very nice. And then hoping to keep the roll going, but just going to get picked off here. So, again, you know, and like to expound a little bit more on the disunity of your buys. You know, so the idea is that if only 3 of your teammates are buying, what are your chances of winning that round? Well, they're okay, but they're not nearly as good as when all 5 members are fully armed. So the idea is that, you know, if you're gonna only be at, I don't know, 80% power, what's the difference of being at 80% power being at like 60% power if everyone saves? And then if everyone saves, you have the opportunity to be at 100% power the next round. But if you have like half of your team buy, then you're just perpetuating the cycle, and you're not actually getting out of it. I actually missed that kill right there. I managed to pick up one of those guys, but I can remember I actually bought the CZ75 and I rushed into apartments and I managed to pick up a flick kill there. You know, these apartments are in kind of a nice place to work if you feel like you have a little bit of a flick shot advantage. You know, if you can react more quickly to your opponent. Like the CZ75 is only $300, but it's a very effective close range weapon, and I felt like I could do a lot of work. And I managed to pick up 2 kills, and it led to us getting our first win in many rounds. And so, you know, this is really our time to, you know, plan our comeback and get going back in the right direction. Let's get the camera back on myself. Okay, so if you look, again, pay attention to who's buying and who's not. I got a Mac 10, and my team bought, so I probably should have just gone ahead and bought there. I think I bought the Mac 10 because I had been deciding to try and work this side of the map, which is more close quarters. You know, last time I got that kill with my CZ, and if I can, you know, do a little bit better job at the close range, then I don't need the big weapon. But I end up falling there to the rifler. Just my own mistake. Not so good. Let's go ahead and try the auto camera for a second. Yeah, so 4 versus 4, things are pretty even. We will just kind of see. We got a nice sneak up by Frosty. That was pretty well played there. To sneak up on flank. And check this out. You know, this guy had the full jump on him, and he just wasn't able to get the kill, leaving it all to Gump, getting 2 nice kills right there, but it's still a 2 versus 1, and he has been chunked out pretty well. So looking a little bit bleak, but, you know, again, I think I've got to shoulder a lot of the blame there. And really, again, when you're playing in a matchmaking game like this, you have to, you know, assume that you are going to carry your team. If you look at the scoreboard, I'm at 10 and 12. You know, I need to be doing better than that. You know, I've got teammates who are 4 and 11, 4 and 12, 5 and 11. You know, the bottom half of our team isn't doing very well, and so I feel like I need to pick up the slack. So, yeah. Anyways, here we go, back with another round. This time we have fully bought, but it is 10-3. So, and again, I think so many of the losses that we incurred this round could have been prevented if we had managed our buying a little bit better, and if we had managed our, you know, calls a little bit better, making a little bit more of a cohesive call. So I'm watching this side, but then I realized that my team is not coming, and we're kind of hanging out in this weird middle banana area. I ask for the bomb, and I think if this guy wants to snipe, go for it, but, you know, at least, you know, give the bomb to somebody who can make a play. And seeing one here trying to get a pick through these pillars on banana. There, I get 1 headshot. Alright, and I am been more conscious on the minimap of making sure somebody's watching our back. And we've had a real trouble this game with getting flanked, and again, I think that just comes down to, you know, having some less than adequate teamwork going on. So I say, hey, I'm going to watch our back, trying to, again, communicate as much as I can in voice comm. My teammate has moved up into the bomb site, so now is our time to shine, I believe. Let's see here. I'm going to try to go ahead and get a plant, but I see a guy. I don't know how he didn't see me. That was really, really curious. And I hear some footsteps, so I decided to wait on the plant. I do want to get the plant down because it does give us extra money. There, I successfully do so, and communicate to my team that I'm watching this flank, get the headshot there. Some nice tap shooting. All the bot aim training has been paying off. This is a really good spot to watch the banana entrance. It's very difficult for them to get the jump on you before you can get the jump on them. And knowing these little spots is very important. I'm going to just probably poke through here. It does kind of give away my position a little bit, but at the same time, it does discourage him from making an aggressive move. And while the bomb is ticking, I can afford to try some of these delay tactics, because he knows that we're in the site somewhere. You could argue that it's better for me to try and, maintain my secrecy, because he is forced to come and find me. Whereas I have a much better idea of where he is going to be. Obviously, he's going to have to enter the site. There are limited places to enter the site from. But at the same time, I do feel like it was useful to try and delay him as much as I could. We ended up losing a pick there. I think Angry Meatball was opping and got countered by the scoped AUG. So that's not so good. Flash over top. Fortunately, I flashed my teammate. Again, a little bit of miscoordination going on, which will happen in your matchmaking game. It's going to smoke the connector there, which is really nice. Basically, when you do that, when you give yourself a little bit more moxie to step up into this area, because people won't very frequently walk in through smoke. But, if you smoke it off, you just kind of give yourself a little bit of an opportunity to come in. Trying to do some work, but I end up getting poked down from behind. My own fault. So that's the first half, down 11-4. And again, I really, really think that a lot of the success that the CTs had there were just due to their ability to capitalize on our mistakes and keep the round kind of in their favor in terms of momentum. So we've got a new half, a new start. Let's see if we can get off to a better start and get going. Now, in the pistol round, especially at these lower levels, I believe I'm a gold 2 or something like that. At these lower levels, I really, really prefer to start armor, just because a lot of people aren't getting as many headshots as probably in higher levels. You're having a lot of body shots that happen, and so I just think it's a better call. There's our first terrorist sighting, so I'm calling out that T's are coming middle, trying to escape back, and let my teammates rotate in, and then we can maybe make a play. And it looks like a lot of good stuff happened with that rotation. It just goes to show you how effective things can be if you communicate with your team, very aggressively communicating with your team to try and tell them exactly what's going on. It just helps give everybody the information to make the right call. So we get the kill there. Going to rotate here to the bomb. This is one of the best situations to be in as a counter-terrorist. Whenever you have the bomb down, you want to swarm the bomb because it makes it really difficult. They're picking up that headshot, but it makes it really difficult to for the terrorists to reclaim the bomb, because you've created such a really good defensive position. So again, whenever the bomb goes down, you really want to swarm it. Okay, so we managed to win the pistol round. I go for an eco buy with the UMP. Again, I like the UMP because of its accuracy. You could also, also would consider the Bison if I'm going to try and hold down a close quarters high traffic area like apartments or banana. I see one calling out to my team. I think we saw him drop down. Yep, there you can see his head poking out and just tap shotting. There's the headshot right there. Again, with unarmored pistoling opponents, the UMP does a lot of work. A lot of good stuff going on. Missing a little bit of my shots right there, but not terribly afraid. I think my teammate actually picked up that kill. Alrighty, looks like the call has been made that they are in the underpass, I believe. And we've actually got the bomb. And we get into, this was a really interesting round. So we're in 2 versus 2. I think I see an M4 and I decide to pick it up. But we have the advantage because we know where the bomb is. So you can see the bomb is blinking right ahead of me. I'm communicating to my ally where I'm watching. Now I'm constantly communicating what direction I'm watching, just to give him as much power and knowledge as possible so that he won't get flanked from behind. There, see him. My teammate and I have such a good defensive setup in this area, constantly keeping your head on a swivel. He's making the call out that he's down this hallway, and he certainly is. I'm just trying to scare him away. We've got the position on our side, we've got time on our side. There's no reason for us to force anything too crazy. We can be patient. No need to run out and find this guy and peek him. We know where the bomb is. We've got the power in this situation. Just kind of waiting it out. Let's see what actually route he does come. I believe he comes through just a different angle through mid. I see him, and I managed to pick him off. Again, using that positioning to my advantage. You know, and one thing I've noticed too is, so why, you may be asking, why was I in that little spot right there? Well, if you notice, my teammate was to my right, and he was watching, you know, probably from T-spawn into banana, whereas I was communicating that I was watching middle towards apartments. And with that setup, you know, we could really cover every entrance to our position, unless he came through the underneath the underpass. That would have been bad. But I stuck in that underpass, trying to just make it as difficult as possible, showing as little of my body as possible for my opponent to actually hit the shot. You know, basically you just want to make it as difficult as possible for your opponent to hit you. Give yourself as much, you know, chance as you can. You know, CSGO is a skill-based game, but people still make mistakes. People's aim isn't perfect, and you want to try and, you know, prey on that inaccuracy as much as possible. You can see getting a little blocked there. Basically, whenever I reload, I want to try to find cover, especially with the M4A1S that has a small clip. You really do want to try and give yourself as much opportunity as possible to find cover. I'm going to use my grenade there, and getting picked off from the side. Unfortunate. That was just a mistake there of awareness, not really thinking that we would get flanked from behind. Probably could have done a little better job of listening, but, you know, and also a little bit of a situation where that smoke on site really kind of did a lot to slow us down. So a good smoke on their behalf, and again, using grenades to create the situation in your advantage. You know, when the terrorists put the smoke grenade on the site, it forces us to be cautious. Smoke grenades, if anything else, they force you to be cautious. So opping this round, this is a good spot to op. And what it does is primarily it gives me, you know, the ability to scout and give information to my team. So I call out that I don't see anybody running mid to bananas. That must mean they have to be on the A side of the map. And it looks like my call out was correct, as there's a lot of action going on in apartments. It looks like my allies are doing a really nice job, but again, the really important thing there is just to, you know, one of the best things about buying an op isn't so much that it allows you to get easy kills, but that you can provide your team with really good information if you work the middle of the map. You know, so by process of elimination, I know that if I didn't see anybody, because I didn't see anyone running around, you know, in this area where this Captain Nom Noms is looking right now, because I didn't see anybody, that means that, you know, they have to be on the A side of the map, and I can make that call out because I know exactly where they are or are not. Missing my shot right there, but it's okay because we get the kill right there, and that's alright. We got a good round. And again, thinking about how the momentum has shifted, we won the pistol round. We've managed to make some smart decisions. I've got a scope, and I'm able to provide my team with good scouting information. You know, things are definitely swung in our favor. And it's really important to remember in CSGO is, you know, even though we were down quite a bit in the first round, there's definitely ways you can come back. If you can get the momentum going back in your favor, a lot of times you can get some really good things going. There's a nice early pick. You know, those are the kinds of picks we were losing at the beginning of this match, which now we are getting in our favor. Again, watching this area, calling out to my team, they don't see anybody, and then check this out right here. How did that happen? I missed the no-scope, but then pick up the CZ. That was one of the silliest kills I have seen in a long time. Now that guy, he was so focused on that corner that I guess he just didn't see me peeking to his disadvantage, but good stuff right there. And I haven't died in a while, which is really, really nice. And if you ever get in this situation, one thing I would suggest is to try to be very aggressive with sharing your money with your team. You know, I haven't needed to give anyone a gun, but always be willing. You know, if somebody on your team has been dying and doesn't have the same level of economy that you do, feel free to go ahead and help them out. It can make a big difference. Alright, so you can see I'm trying to op again. My teammate does like to kind of hang out in the middle with me, but we're not seeing anybody mid, but we do see somebody go down in banana. So the call out is made. Not sure exactly where. Okay, we do end up picking 2 kills. So the terrorists actually split apart, which is very weird. But I know people are here. Pick up the kill with my CZ. And we've kind of got them pincered in. This is, again, a really good spot. You know, when you know where your opponents are, when you know where their bomb is, when you've got them pincered down. You really want to try to use that to your advantage. And just bull rushing this guy to pick up the kill. No reason not to. You know, we've got the numbers advantage. There's no way he can kill us all before we can kill him. And again, the momentum's swinging in our favor. Look at the equipment value right now. 25,050, 28, you know, 2,900 versus 29,000 versus 19,000. A big advantage on our end. Just because we've won so many rounds, I haven't died in a while. I've managed to really hold on. All I've basically been doing is replenishing grenades and armor. You know, not too much else going on. He did get picked off there by the scout, but I follow it right back. And that's a position, too, from Angry Meatball's perspective. There's no reason for him to play that spot so aggressively. Just because, you know, if he knows that I'm there with an op, there's no reason for him to be doing that. I get the crazy turn flick shot and feeling really naked because I don't exactly know how that guy managed to sneak up on me. But that's why I like to pair the CZ75 with the op. The CZ75 is a fantastic close-range weapon. I believe it has the same damage model as the P250, which has the, if I'm not mistaken, has the chance to one-hit headshot through armor. So that's what you want in a pistol with the op, is to give you the opportunity to duel someone in close range. Alright, looks like there's 2 versus 3. Wondering if they're moving on to B, but the call-out is actually made for apartments. So it looks like just they're being very cautious. Nothing too much happening at this point. Just trying to get a feel for where they are. Trying to play a little bit of a generalist spot. Okay, there the bomb has been planted, so I know it's at B. Rotating around. Trying to use the range on my op, and there I actually see him running and pick him off. You know, and that's a kind of a situation where, from his perspective, there's no real like, why exactly is he just openly running with his knife? I'm assuming it's because he was trying to find the right position, but I guess I just think it would have been smarter for him to try to take a defensive position on sight and hope to pick us off at close range rather than make a play at far range. So anyways, now here we are again, close the gap 12 to 10. Really been making quite a charging comeback to get ourselves back into this game. Alright, gonna go ahead and stay middle. You notice that I've been really working this middle area, which is something I really like to do on this map, just because it gives you the option on what side you want to take. If you want to stay, you can. If you want to go the other way, you can. It just gives you options. Doing a little bit of an op battle with this guy. Now, I haven't opped this spot enough to really know the pre-shot location there and where his head will be, so I just decided to back out because I wasn't confident, and in all honesty, I probably should have died. Moving up a little bit here into apartments, probably not too aggressively. Trying to get a beat on where anybody is with my op. Play a little more defensively. Okay, now I see that I've got position on the bomb, and like I've said before, this is exactly where you want to be. We have such a tremendous advantage when we have eyes on the bomb and can camp it like this. It really puts my team in a really good spot. And here we are. I think we're back 11 to 12, so we've almost evened things up for the very first time. And you can see again how much the momentum has swung in our favor. If you look at the terrorist weapons, they're really far behind. You know, not at all, any way, shape, or form, having the power weapons to compete with us. And so here we are again. We've got 2 ops, 3 M4s, full grenades, full diffuse, full armor. The whole 9 yards. So again, just watching this familiar, trying to provide information. See one of my allies go down. I'm just prepared to peek this corner. Didn't hit the shot there, but you know, just slowing the terrorists down and trying to, again, provide as much information as I can, as well as provide a kill threat. Moving up into apartments now. Watching this middle back area. There I actually see him and miss one of my shots. But the call out was made that he was charging me, so there I make a nice flick shot to get the kill there. And the last guy was seen in this area, so going to try and keep eyes on him here. There, I see him one more time. I'm a little bit low, so I don't want to be too aggressive with this peek. And this last terrorist just seems to be a little bit cautious about to know what to do. But the bomb is down, so I don't need to feel like I need to play aggressively. Here we are in a 1 versus 1 situation. I moved to an M4 because I felt like the op wouldn't have been optimal, and they're getting the nice burst spray into the head to pick up the kill. You know, and it's really interesting too. I've talked a lot about momentum in terms of economy, but one other thing to say is that momentum really also applies in terms of morale. If you've been watching the chat at all, the terrorist side is getting very dejected, very frustrated, complaining, you know, whereas on the mic comm, my team has been very jubilant, very excited, very, you know, the camaraderie is high, you believe in one another, all those types of things are working in your favor. That's a really important thing to talk about in some of these games. You know, when you have the teamwork running high, when you've got feelings are good, you know, it's a good situation to be in. We end up giving away 3 kills here in the stairs of apartments, which is not so good, but hoping my team can kind of rally back and pick up some kills. 4 versus 2. Got 1 scope, one rifle. There's 1 kill. Very nice. Not actually sure. This guy's really, really low. It looks like actually pretty much everybody on their team is really low. So having the rifle in this situation is nice. Good pickup there by Gump. It does look like they are going to get a plant, which is nice for the terrorists. You know, planting, even just getting the plant down is really important for the terrorists because it does give them that little bit of extra money. You know, just to get again, like I said, the momentum back in their favor. A nice pickup there by Garrett. Now, nice job. I think he actually heard him there. And then the call was made that the last guy is on site, and he does pick up the kill, which leads to us winning the round. We've charged all the way back. I believe it was like something like 4-11 or something at the turn, and now we're at 13-12. So they've only won 1 round on the T side. We've had a real lockdown going on, which is just really good for us. And again, if you'll note, we've had, you know, because we got the momentum going in our favor, and because we're playing the CT side, we just don't have the same, you know, level of problems in terms of miscommunication, in terms of buying, that we did on the T side. You know, on Terrace, you have to actually group together and make a call and go for it. On the CT side, it's more about defending and about rotating. So a little bit better, I guess, you know, this side has really helped us out. Getting a nice pick off there. Again, leaving myself exposed as little as possible. Getting that kill, and then 1 more. Can't quite finish him off, unfortunately. Some crazy shenanigans going around in the A apartments this game. A lot of weird stuff. People coming from behind. Very strange. So there's some nice shooting there. Able to pick up that kill. And now we're in a 2 versus 1. And again, things have really swung in our favor. We managed to get an advantage. We've kept the advantage very nicely. So things are looking good. Let's see if we can retake this site. 2 versus 1. Just trying to find where he's at. Gump is doing a nice job of taking things nice and slow. Trying to be very methodical. Checking every possible location that the last terrorist could be, one at a time. You see where he actually is, but then gets charged right here. You know, and Gump was ready to pre-shoot that the whole time. You know, anticipating, is there going to be a terrorist around this corner? Is it going to be around this corner? And that's the type of mentality you need to have, is very methodically checking all of the places that they could possibly be. So here we are, 12-14. Things are really looking good. I think I've had the most success, actually not with the AWP, but with the rifle. But I think the AWP has done a nice job of giving us, you know, some really, really nice vision about where they're actually going. If I run to this middle area, I can pretty much 50-50 with great safety tell where they went. Alright, so I see 1 mid, I make the call. But the smokes are kind of cutting off our vision, and actually, you know, the smokes are working. I believe one of my teammates threw the smoke, and it actually is doing me a little bit of a disservice because it doesn't allow me to find the vision there, but it actually looks like my team is picking up some nice kills over here on this banana side. I believe there was judging by how far up he was, I believe there's a nice headshot, but judging by how far up my ally was right there, it looks kind of like he was, nice turn there by Angry Meatball, but it looks like he had flanked, which is a very nice idea to use through that banana area. So here we go, coming up on 1 round remaining. The comeback is almost fully complete. Again, like I said, I believe the score was 4-11 at the turn, and here we are at 15-12. So again, we have won, what is this, 11 rounds in a row. Pretty good stuff. And to come back and again really working the momentum in our favor, trying to keep a stranglehold on it, and again using my money to buy an op, to give my team vision, to make calls, and as the more calls that you have, just the better off you are in terms of being able to give your team information. With that information, they can react appropriately. When there's no communication going on, when there's no plan, you're just in a worse off spot. You want to have a plan going, you want to have communication going, because it lets your teammates know, what their options are. It's hard for your teammates to just simply know what you're thinking if you don't say anything. Communication will help solve pretty much all of the problems listed before. There, actually see him, and going to pick up an assist there. And it looks like we're just kind of getting down to this round. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts down below. Any thoughts that you have for me about how I can improve, or ways that I could, I guess get better, things you'd like to see. Just feel free to leave a comment down below. But I'm going to keep doing this. I'm going to keep casting games that I have in an effort to try and improve. If you guys are, have tips for me, feel free to give those. But hopefully you guys can take some things away as well, and we can all go ahead and get better. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts down below, and I'll see you later.